If you just watched my last video, this is just a continuation. This one is going to be quite a bit longer for anybody with questions and things like that. So I'm going to get right into it. We're taking the handles off of the hollow handled knives. So there's basically two types that I've seen. There's this one here that's kind of pinched, and then this one that's an open knife handle. And what we get from those is, sorry, I have a bucket of water down here. We get these two guys coming out of there. So the hollow one with the big hole is going to have the stud, and the little flat one here goes in the ones that are pinched. The flat one, the pinched one, tends to squirt out quite a bit more solder than, there we go, I'll get rid of that sun, than these guys do. But if you heat up here too much, instead of where you're supposed to be down here, these will turn into a rocket. They will build up pressure and just squirt off or blow a stream of solder 3 or 4 feet. So be careful taking these apart. You can kind of see where I've stopped the heat. It's a lot darker down here. This one takes a lot more heat. These guys are normally thinner, so you get the white kind of showing up. But be careful you don't have your torch on too high, because you can melt off the silver. Let's see. The sun's coming out. So we'll get right into it. If you stop by, say hi. I don't know what happened a little bit ago, but it said I was live and it might not have been. Somebody get you guys down here so you don't have to look at the sun. I've got just a couple more of this batch to do. I have some that are possibly hollow. It rings hollow, but they wouldn't come apart. So what I do is, as I'm working with the batches I get, so I bought this whole batch, these I have to go through and see if they're actually hollow. I'll cut down here with the hacksaw, not my bandsaw. Most of these, actually all of these, will have a steel pin going through them. And they're the only ones I've ever found that have been filled with something else. I've only seen this kind with the pinch use solder, but I line them up so I know which patterns. So none of these up here, none of these guys, I didn't even try them because I tried the one. All right. Hello, V and K. All right, let's see if I can get this to where I can see comments as they come up. Okay, and zoom you guys in here a little bit. So I've started Mount Soldrus. Can you guys hear me okay? My torch. Okay, good. I tried to not have it up too high or too low. I want to hear it pushing, but I don't want it so much that it's forcing it out really hot, and so that it won't melt the silver plate here. Now, what I was saying is this is attached down here. If I build up a lot of pressure up here and then heat down here, it will all just shoot up like a rocket. So it's all soldered here. You want to watch, actually it just went. Be careful when pulling these apart. You have turned the solder into a liquid and it will shoot everywhere. So I turn them on an angle so that I can get the solder to come out. There's still solder coming out. There we go. And I'll put it over here in my tray. I didn't show you guys that yet. Over here, I have a little hibachi grill thing that I just put them all in. I put them in here softly so that any residual solder that's hot doesn't spit out onto the other knife handles and I have to clean those up later. It just makes more work. Okay, get our next blade in here. All right. So this is another pinched one. So we can pretty much say that all of the solder is right here, and that's where it's going to come apart. Sometimes if you heat it, you can see it bend like the last one. So this one here, I just saw squeak out right there. I'm just going to try and pull it straight up. And then what I'm doing now is I'm taking my torch and I'm putting the knife handle at probably almost a 45-degree angle. So I get all that solder in there melted, and then it all just comes right out. Give it a couple taps. Make sure you don't breathe the smoke that comes off of them. Below me I have a bucket of water. I don't remember if I showed that or not. So this is another pinch. And sometimes you'll see some thanks for watching, Kim. I was sitting here probably over an hour waiting for my headphones to die. There we go. It just came loose. See all the solder that's coming out of there? Be careful whenever you're bringing it up. I am using round nose pliers. I've tried using regular pliers, but they've always left a mark. I might have to take and put, just take a modify pair of pliers, just like cut the teeth out of it. Sometimes solder will get down in between the jaws there. So this is probably 40 knives maybe. Let's see. I think there was 80 something to start. I'm probably 60 knives. Got 2 more left to do in this batch. So make sure you watch your feet also, because these will squirt out at you. Can you guys hear that? It was yelling at me. So get this at an angle. There we go. And a tufts of smoke generally means it's done. If you're doing this inside, make sure that you have protection on your floor, your shoes, legs. Always wear your goggles, because this will squirt out. And make sure you have really good ventilation. The fumes coming off of this are toxic. I was trying to do it outside here. Anytime. Do you guys have any questions for me? There we go. So that was this one here is a stud. So this one here probably has a lot of solder in it. I'm trying to make a big base as I do all of these. I'm going to have one big mountain of solder here. A question I get a lot is, can you reuse this solder? And my answer has been no. Because most of this has lead in it through my research and from others that have researched it. So I definitely wouldn't try reusing it. I normally just dispose of it. I do like the little mountains that it creates because I never do 3 or 4 of these at a time. So I'm just twisting and wiggling. Take the heat off of it. There we go. That one almost got my shoe. There we go. Normally when you get that puff of smoke, that's the end of it. And I always tap it down just so any solder goes right to this end, because this end, I might cut it off right here at the line to make it opened up. So if I get all my solder to the bottom, it gets cut off. Okay. All right. Bag number 2. So let's zoom out here. So I've got a couple blades in there. All right, so we got some First Love. I can never remember if the First Love pattern, if it's the long ones or the short ones that are hollow. I believe that it's the long ones because that's what I use to make my rows. Yeah, I've got some rattling in here. I don't know if I want to try one. I'm pretty sure they're solid. All right, so we're gonna put this on my wall of filled. So all of these were bought as hollow knives. So unfortunately, I can't use these. Now, if these were the long handles, they're like that long and a lot skinnier, they are hollow. This is just one I know from experience. But it is a nice set. I think that's more solid. So these are different batches. And I have a person that sent me those, and I think these are solid. You know what? This could be so this pattern here is the same pattern . That one has like a serious ring to it. I'm gonna give this one a shot. It feels hollow. Hi, Backyard Creations. So we'll give this one a shot. Sometimes different manufacturers will make the same pattern. Companies kept getting bought and just kind of swapped around. And at certain companies, they made the knives a certain way, but they had license of the pattern, so they just used their normal way of making it. Come on. You know you want to come apart. Make sure you're watching the silver on this, because if you hold it on there too long, it will melt off. Give this one just another minute. Yeah, I'm getting no movement. Nope. All right. So that pattern, it is hollow, but it just won't come apart. I know that's hollow. So you hear that? That's crazy. I was just about to say this could be a box that I put together of all the patterns that were filled. Yeah, that's filled. That's filled. This pattern I just had over there, it's filled. I think I grabbed a bag of the ones that I already found out were filled. Yep. Yeah, that's way too many. Normally when I buy a lot, I'll get a few, 3 or 4 patterns possibly, that aren't hollow. There we go. That's the sound I'm looking for. One o'clock. Yep, I have a short version of this that I just posted, or should be posting soon. So that'll be shorter than this one, but 1 o'clock, well, that's normally my bedtime. I'll get off YouTube or TikTok lately. Just get in a TikTok spiral. So with the filled ones, I will normally sell them on eBay as a set. A lot of people will buy them because they are technically hollow handled. But I always put them filled hollow handled knives. I don't want somebody else to think that they're buying something that we can do this with and not be able to use them. So you really want to watch out for that on eBay and some of the other sites. Now it's solid. So I think I had a pretty good line. I think this might be solid too. Yep. All right, I think I'm into my new box now. So this one is one with a pin, so I'm gonna have to go up to about here to get that solder to liquefy around the peg. There we go, I'm starting to see solder. And there's my twist. Once I get that little bit of room, see it's catching on me, so I'm pulling up and twisting. Find out where, there we go. Now this one is kind of weird. If you look at the the black right here. Oops. It's like it got rusted in there. Oops. I'll just put that there. All right, so this one came out of the pile that was solid. It could be one of those that are hollow but just won't separate here. They use a different kind of adhesive, whether it's mortar or something that I can't get this thing to get hot enough. Yeah, it's on there. All right. Got to take a shot though. They're definitely hollow handled, but they'll just need to be cut. There we go. All right, so now we're into this batch. This is all hollow. Well, they're all hollow so far. I think there's probably 90 or so in there. I need probably 30 more for tonight. So what I'll do is I'll cut these guys off. So I started seeing some solder there. The ones that are pinched, I'll take those and put them through the bandsaw. Cut them off to where they're flat. I'll take all of them, even the solid ones, or the ones that have the peg. I'll take all of those and just sand down the faces so they're smooth. And then these will get sanded same way. And I'll toss them all in the tumbler, and with a bunch of Dawn dish soap and my stainless steel media. I use the 3 different kind mix. I think they call it jeweler's mix. The one that I don't like is the pins. So you can see that solder coming out of there. Be careful adding more heat to it. That one's making a lot of noise. That's weird. Forgot what I was talking about. Oh, I'll use my stainless steel media. I think I have, it's probably 4 to 5 pounds of stainless media in my Frankfurt Arsenal tumbler. I'm pretty sure all the links are down in the description under all my videos. So as I, come on, so I'm wiggling it. So I've seen the heat or the smoke start coming out. It always kind of scares me a little bit, because soon after the smoke, there'll be a ton of solder come out of there. So make sure you take the heat off of it. I'm gonna have to kind of mount solder us back together again, a couple places. Thanks for joining me. Let me know if you have any questions. You can normally reach me at, on Facebook, Flatware Creations, 2 S's. Also my personal account, Jeremy L. said, I think it is. And on YouTube. I try to respond as fast as I can, because if I don't, I'll forget sometimes. Messenger is a good one. So what I'm making, or doing all of this for, is I'm making a special order for some bud vases. This person likes them bent a certain way. I'll do a live on that. Actually, I've done a couple lives on that. It seems to be most of what I'm making these days. But I just got my shop. My daughter got married, and I got to take over her room. So I have a bigger space. And it's taken me a little bit to get everything maneuvered in there because, sorry, smoke. If you go back and you look at my, this is our shop or my shop or something, it's in my videos. I had a little, I think it was 8 foot, maybe 9 foot, no, it was probably 8 by 8 room, and on the edge of that there was a set of stairs. So I stuffed everything that I used basically on a kitchen room table that I put 3/4 inch plywood on, and that was everything. So just 1 foot over on my computer chair, and I had a whole new set of tools to work with. So now that being in my bigger shop, I'm having to take, my bigger shop came with a roll top desk and a big dresser kind of thing. So I gained more room. Yeah, it was really compact. The new room has those 2 big pieces, so my floor space was cut way down. And what I did yesterday was actually made a bunch of shelves to hold everything and get my big storage containers in there. I use mostly those little plastic drawers. So that goes over there. The knife goes in there. After a little bit, this just kind of gets really monotonous because you're doing the same thing over and over. But you still have to be alert enough to make sure you're not going to get squirted on or still always have to pay attention. I'll show you guys what the ground looks like. I'm out on my front ramp. So I'm holding this on an angle so that I can get that solder to come out of there. Just get it flowing. There we go. Oop. So you can see all the solder. It's on there. A bucket of knife blades. Yes, I had one split on me today. It was one of the pinched ones, like this. And as I'm holding it, I'm kind of twisting this way. And sometimes I've had the sides blow out on them. On the solid handles, I have had a couple of them split down the side. But normally it's these with the pinched. My feet and back are killing me. I need to get situated. Actually, my new ventilation system is right next to the window, but I still don't want to do this in the house. I do have a video showing it can be done in the house, but my ventilation, I had to bring my vent right down on top of the knife handles. That was weird. I heard a little rattle in there. So that must have been whenever they made it, some of the solder kind of dripped off down up into the handle part. I wonder if how it's made. I know they did a how it's made on silverware. I don't remember if they did one on knives. That would be interesting. I think if it were me trying to do that, I would put solder in here while it was turned upright, put the blade in, push them together, and flip it over while it's still hot. So it's probably some machine that does it similar to that. So I've got a little bit of room movement there. Put some more heat to it. There we go. So I just got an alert. My phone is about to die. It's so sad. My phone is just gonna die. So in this one, there's like different stuff coming out of it. So I'm just heating up the end. Try and get whatever it is in there to either burn out or smoke out or drip out. I'll just put that one right there. Got it. All right, I'll do this last one. Do you guys have any questions for me or anything while I'm on? This would be the last knife I'll do on camera. Still have to give enough juice for it to load. And I always try and put my pliers where the pattern is, so you don't leave too many marks on it that are noticeable. If you guys like my videos, please give me a thumbs up. Let me me shut this off. Zoom you guys out. The sun went down. Awesome. I hope you guys enjoyed this. Please subscribe if you haven't yet. The channel will be growing quite a bit as soon as I get the shop put together. And I've got my new laptop came in, so I get to have the power to do some editing. So I'm excited for that. So still got a few things left to do, but we're on our way. Thank you guys for joining me. Let me make sure there's no more questions. Nope. All right. Have a good night, and I will see you next time.